Hello, 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 hello. Welcome once again to a Prog Reborn. My name is Im Coastler. This is my progression style playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV. If you don't know what that means, you can always check out the video in the description below. Or if you happen to be live in chat, you can type an exclamation point intro. See a link to that same video. If you like the type of content that I'm doing, I would love for you to leave a like on the stream. Totally helps out with the omnipotent YouTube algorithm. And if you'd like to know the next time I go live so you can participate in the stream yourself, right now the easiest and best way is to hit that subscribe button. I am working on sort of putting together a Discord for this, which will be especially useful when I need to coordinate things like trials and raids and extreme trials and stuff like that. But yeah, without... Oh, well, there's the one other thing. Word of warning. If this is not my reaction style playthrough, this is not my first time playing through the game. So my main is up to date with 6.5. So if you are worried at all about any sort of spoilers between this point, which is still patch 2.0, and patch 6.5, then this is your warning to get out, because I may make a reference to anything in the game to add context to interesting information that I think deserves to have context on a additional playthrough or a secondary playthrough. But Quay decided they didn't want any spoilers, so they bailed on us. But unlike the rest of y'all, Quay has to stay with me. Do I have any more? I've got one skill point. Right. We were going to do White Mage quests, which it seems like that person is likely also doing. Following in his footsteps, Raya Osina would send you on a pilgrimage. Your command of white magic has advanced considerably, Im. Yes, the time draws near. Let us begin our preparations for the quieting. Gotta turn this down slightly. At its roots, the ritual is no different from the acts of pacifying that you have already performed. The difference lies only in the difficulty of the effort. The Great One possesses a power unfathomably more immense than the elementals you've communed with thus far. Power so immense that a mage might be easily overwhelmed by the sheer force of its will. To prevent such a catastrophic fate, our tradition decrees that a special garb must be donned before performing the ritual. I have prepared for you these pieces, but I fear they will not avail you in their current state. So it is that I would send you on a journey. I trust you know the story of Ato Akant. Rare among the Pajal, he left the forest behind to travel the realm, healing the land and its people. As tribute to his wanderlust after he passed, his ashes were divided among several urns, which were in turn carried to the far reaches of the realm. And it was there in the distant lands that the great mage so loved that his ashes were buried, and monuments erected in his honor. So you are to go on a pilgrimage to these sites and receive the blessings of your forebear. Only then will the garb I have gifted to you be imbued with his divine power. Mind you, you will find these places are not as welcoming as they might have been in Master Atoa's time. The first site is on the shores of western Lenosha, and a place now feared as the Serpent's Tongue, home to a band of vile pirates. The next is to be found in Mordona, in that overgrown labyrinth of roots and vines so affectionately known as the Tangle. I do hope that Master Atoa's ashes have survived those most oppressive environs. The third site I would have you visit is perhaps the most treacherous location of the lot. Rabon's Push in northern Thenland, a stone's throw from an Imperial stronghold. I urge you to exercise extreme caution. Alrighty, so we got Lenosha, we got Mordona, and we've got Rabon's Push. It's probably the closest location. The Airymen are a little too high level. So I don't know a ton of the story pre 2.0, other than just the broad strokes. I know we come through Rabon's Push later on, which would make sense for why this has the name Rabon's Push, but it doesn't. But it has the name right now of Rabon's Push, so not. Perhaps, like how we are close to Mordona, so we could be near Cartano. Gravestone is inscribed with an epitaph paying tribute to the life and deeds of the great mage Atoa Kent. Right, we have to pray. Pray. There we are. Cool. Next is the Tangle. Really close. Let's see if I can run. If I stick to the road, I should be fine. One thing that you don't get in newer MMOs that you got in older MMOs, you got a significant amount in older MMOs, was these runs through extremely hostile and deadly areas to get from one area to another. I remember playing EverQuest back in the day, and just to get out of like the halfling area, you had to go through Kothkor. It's some really foggy forest area that was just the only thing that you could do, and I say foggy because it's an old game. It was foggy regardless. But the only thing that you could really do was hug the wall. Can I get around here? No, I can't. The only thing that you could really do was hug the wall and hope that some random patrol didn't just jump you out of nowhere. Here I'm in theoretically the most heavily guarded spot in Eorzea. And I didn't get insta-gibbed going through the gates without like a massive party. I also remember in EverQuest there was a boat that you took across. I forget what the name of the sea was, but it was a port between the continent of Faerun and the shores of Oasis of Mar. And along the way, you had to go through these, you know, ocean zones that had some islands and stuff on it that you could go and do things on if you really wanted to. But in the ocean zones, there were these roaming sea giants that if you're on the boat, you were fine. But it's an old MMO, and you know, you were running, at least we were running on a 56K modem back in the day. And sometimes you just lagged and your character would desync from the boat's location and fall into the water. And so you had to like try and find your way to an island and make your way to one of the stops, because there was a stop in the zone for that boat, so that you could go to the dock and you could keep going. But in the water, there were these sea giants that would just patrol. And if you fell off and you happened to be near where one of these sea giants were, they would just one-tap you, depending on what your level was. And, you know, now you're in the middle of nowhere. You've probably forgot to type /lock to get your location. And back in the day, you had to do corpse runs to get your gear back. And if you couldn't find your gear, then everything that you'd done to that point, other than your levels, which you also lost experience when you died, but everything you'd done up to that point would just be gone. Now, obviously, I think people mostly idealize that kind of stuff, but if they ever actually had it happen to them, when they had something, when they, you know, spent some time and effort on something, then, you know, you're gonna feel pretty shitty if that happens. And so the removal of corpse runs and the removal of de-leveling and all that kind of stuff is definitely better than the alternative. Alrighty. Let me get through all of this stuff in Halfstone. Get to Serpent's Tongue. The spot right there, I think, is part of Endwalker role quests, if I remember correctly. Pretty low level here compared to what we're fighting, but I need to kill them anyways, might as well. I mean, I need 4 total, so 3 more. Boom, 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 boom. Easy, easy, easy. I think it's the same text every time, so let's just go ahead and finish that off. There should be 4 total pieces that we get. Still need the hat. Get where she sends us. Just before the stream. Well, we're about to get to this quest. I'll finish my thought later. Your safe return heartens me, Em. I can feel newfound power emanating from the garb I gave you. I trust that this stage of your pilgrimage was a success. Now that you have traveled the realm and seen the land as Master Atoa did, I would share with you the rest of his tale. The histories claim that Atoa Count disappeared in the mountains of Ogomoro, the Kobold motherland. This is not untrue, but there's more to the story. When the great mage did not return from his journey, one of his most devoted students went in search of him. As the legends have it, the young mage single-handedly fought off veritable legions of kobolds while scouring the mountains for any sign of the master. Sadly, it was as all had feared. The young mage eventually found his master. The great Atoa Count lived no more. As if the death of the man was not enough, Tyrus, Atoa Count's great staff, a mighty relic passed down by his ancestors, was lost to the shadows. Undeterred, the young mage fought off the kobold hordes to carry his master's remains back to the surface. A ceremony was held to honor Master Atoa's life and deeds, and urns housing his ashes were carried off to the far-reaching frontiers of which he was so fond of in his living. All the urns, that is, except for one. Yes, though the precise location is known to only a few, Master Atoa also rests closer to home. Here in the Twelveswood, not far from Proud Creek, you will find another monument to the great mage. Take with you this habit and pay your respects as before. If you keep pure intentions in your heart and in your mind, then the healer's robe shall be your reward. Robe? I thought they would give me the hat. Go to Gordania. Well, we'll go with a return. So, what was my thought? Oh, this is going to be completely left field. So bear with me. It has nothing to do with this game. Having a conversation with a friend of mine. Who was saying that... Oh, it's in North Shroud. I thought it would have been in Central Shroud. Oh, we can just run. Oh, right. Yeah, now I know where it is. I thought it was in this little underground area. But no, it's near where the Ixal are. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. They were saying how they wouldn't want to give birth because while you're in labor, the forces that you have to exert pop out the baby, often lead to you shitting yourself. And I'm thinking, everything to do with childbirth, natural childbirth, yeah, and, you know, C-section, is disgusting. It is really shitting yourself really the thing that's going to prevent you from wanting to go through with that. You shit every day. Sure, it's a difference between, you know, it collecting underneath you versus getting dealt with in the toilet, but come on. Sound off in the comments below. Let's see. Can I sneak this? Nope. So there must be noise. Guys beat the shit out of me. Count? I'm just supposed to examine it. The grave has been defiled and its contents appear to have been stolen. The power of Altoa Canth has been lost here. Return to Camp Tranquil and seek counsel from Raya Osina. Oh, that's why we won't be able to get the robe. Back to Final Fantasy talk. They spoke of Tyrus or Tyrus. I believe that's the ARR White Mage relic. I believe it's, so there's a bunch of different stages to the relic, but I think all the relics have like 2 models in ARR. They have the base relic model, which is like the first 4 stages or so, and then the last 2 stages are the or a different model. And I think Tyrus is, I think it's the first half. Rather than the second half. My main is a White Mage, and I have that relic. I use the one that's more tree-like, and I think that's the second half, but I can't remember fully. New habit for a White Mage, or a habit for a new White Mage? The urn holding Master Altoa's ashes was stolen. This cannot be. Grave robbery is damnable enough crime in itself, but what manner of scoundrel would dare defile the resting place of a Pajal? Rest assured I will investigate this heinous crime immediately. In the meantime, your pilgrimage demands you travel to one last destination. This final leg of your journey will take you to the very place Master Altoa drew his last breath, Ogomoro, the homeland of the kobolds in Outer Lenosha. It's there, in plain sight of the Cobalt Dig, that the student of whom I spoke did erect a monument to his fallen master. Wow. I think the White Mage, this White Mage garb that you get, either this one or the... I think it's this one is that's red. I think it's very nice. It's the traditional White Mage garb that you see in other Final Fantasies, the like dagger wears, stuff like that. I think it is very good looking. Need 4 total, so I just need these 2 others. sneak on by. On by that one, but not the other one. Cool. Now back to Camp Tranquil. Lots of teleporting back and forth, and this is only the first of these two quests. Each job has 2 quests on it, level 45. Welcome back, M. The journey was not an easy one, I trust, and yet I knew that Master Altoa would guide you safely back to me. In your travels, you received the blessings of our great ancestor, and yet this was not the sole reason I sent you on this pilgrimage. Perhaps you sensed something of my intentions during your trip. Yes, M, as he who would inherit Master Altoa's legacy, I wanted you to truly walk in his footsteps. To see the realm, in both its beauty and its suffering, with your own eyes, as the great mage did so long ago. And yet, it is strange, no? A pirate's lair, a rampant jungle, mountains of fire. Of all the hostile environs to which you journeyed, the single grave despoiled was that which rests right here in our forest home. I suspect this was the handiwork of no witless grave robber, but rather someone who knew all too well the value of that which was buried within. We must uncover the truth behind this crime and return Master Altoa's ashes to their rightful resting place, and quickly. Are you with me? Yes? Yearn for the urn! Raya Osina would have you recover the stolen ashes of Altoa Cat. Ah, nice, we get our AoE finally. Grave robbery is a loathsome enough crime in its own right, but to defile the final resting place of a Pajal, such an act could only be performed by the lowliest of bandit scum. Though I would like to think that the elementals have already delivered due justice to the villain, we must take no chances in allowing an escape. Whilst you were away, I put my best Moogle on the hunt, searching for any sign of the culprit or the stolen remains. I dare say he should have a clue or 2 for us by now. At least he'd better, if he values that little ball on his head. Suffice it to say, though many forest-born think of the Moogles as blessed, my own personal experience has found them to be more touched than anything else. Oh, mistress, you shouldn't say such hurtful things. It's most unbecoming of a seed seer, Kupo. But fine, don't listen to me. Why, I told her just the other day that this is why she remains, shall we say, unspoken for. She might not react to that phrasing at present, but her ire was indeed fierce, Kupo. Of course, you have not come to discuss my mistress's temper, but the grave robbery, a most unforgivable act of villainy, if I do say so myself, which I believe I just did, Kupo. I am pleased to say, and you will be pleased to hear, that the culprit did not escape Moogle eyes, Kupo. Oh, my eyes he did escape. My associate, Pukno Poki, however, claims to have seen a band of ruffians skulking off in the direction of Red Belly Hive with various and sundry stolen goods in tow, among them a rather conspicuously elaborate urn, Kupo. I do not know what the Red Bellies are up to, but surely it can't be nothing good. Please, Em, go quickly. If the urn is lost, I fear Ryao's ire will be the least of my worries, Kupo. Pukno Poki. In the tree. Those thieving crooks, those crooked thieves, defiling the resting place of a Pajal, why no amount of thrashing, lashing, and bashings would suffice. Kupopo? Why, if it isn't the dashing white mage Kupcha Kupa spoke of. Not a moment too soon. Why, I was just about to swoop in and give them their comeuppance myself. Now that you're here, however, I believe I'll just sit back and enjoy the show, Kupo. Those vile red bellies tossed the urn onto some ramshackle wagon, a most ignoble fate for a Pajali legend, I do declare, and carted it northwise toward their hive. You will retrieve it safe and sound, won't you, Kupo? Six. Let's see. Interacting. Oh, we gotta go back to Raya O. But I had to go to the Moogle. The final remains of the wandering Pajal, Atto Kent. Thank you, M. The remains of our exalted forebearer hauled away by brigands like a sack of loot. Is that what our land has come to? There can be no doubt. It is the Great One's fury that brings such chaos to the Twelveswood. The situation is grave indeed. I shall have our wood whalers deal with the red bellies. We have more important matters before us. And yet, I fear we have hit another snag. Though the urn has safely been recovered, the harsh treatment it suffered at the hands of the bandits has taken its toll. Uprooted from its proper resting place, the power of Atto Akant, once housed within, has grown dim. It shall return the urn to its rightful home. Perhaps over time it will return to its former state. Yet I fear time is a luxury we do not have. We must explore other means to enchant the ritual garb. I will consult with my brother to see what knowledge he might have to offer. In the meantime, I'd ask that you master your newfound skills as best you can. There's no telling when the Great One's fury might grow too strong to contain. We must ever be prepared. Done with White Mage. Very good, very good. So, who do we have left? We have Monk. We have Paladin. We have Dragoon. We have Warrior. We have Shaman. I'm saying Shaman. Summoner. I say Shaman because the short is SM in for it, and it just reminds me. Think of Shaman for that instead of Summoner. Back to New Gridania. It's cool. Say the same thing. Mitra wishes to share with you her thoughts on dealing with Tristan. Greetings, Em. Though it's good to see you, I'm afraid I have yet to ascertain Tristan's ultimate objective. I only know that he is cunning and brutal and will stop at nothing to achieve his purpose. As matters stand, we but chase after this man's shadow. Such a straightforward pursuit will, I believe, leave us ever one step behind. Our sole advantage is the treasure we possess that Tristan appears to covet. Eventually, his desire will bring him to us. Where and when Tristan will strike, I cannot say, but it is unlikely to be on a field of our choosing. Thus, I suggest we prepare for this inevitable conflict as best we may. As fortune would have it, the ruins of Mordona may have provided us with a new source of strength. Word among the Suns is that a set of evokers' attire has been unearthed. Made during the reign of the Allegan Empire, these enchanted garments are sewn for the exclusive use of summoners. I can only imagine the degree to which they will enhance your already impressive powers. The man supervising the excavation efforts at St. Quinnock's Find, Rambrose, is a dear friend of mine. In light of our circumstances, I am certain that he will consent to a request that you be allowed to don the attire. Shall we pay him a visit? Rambrose, if you played any of the MSQ, is a well-known individual. Let me turn in some of this stuff while I'm here. And the fearsome Morbolger falls to the newest brave of the Revenant's Toll Venturers Guild. M, welcome to the confraternity, brother. Seriously, how'd you kill that thing? That Morbolger was something else. They say it started off as an escaped pet. Guess that's what you get when spoiled rotten meets red in tooth and claw. That thing slew more venturers with its carnal breath than a whole parade of gigas. Not that I wanted you dead exactly, you understand, but folk have been known not to come back. Well, that's all in the past, eh, Brother M? You're one of Revenant's Toll's adventurers now. Death to Morbles. Boom, 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 boom. Get this whole gloom stuff. I forget what the reason is for it. I think it only happens in Silver Tier. Might have something to do with Midgarstormer or the additional ether in this area. Well met, adventurer. Any comrade of Kakamehi is certain to be of great help to us. You are interested in helping, I trust. We sons of St. Quinnock have our share of troubles of late, and your assistance will be most welcome. I think you will find it an equally rewarding experience. Enterprise. Ah, Mitra. I suspected you would make an appearance before long. And I presume this fine gentleman is the new summoner I've heard so much about? Yes, hopefully the first of many. Now, pray tell me, Rambrose, has the discovery of an Allegan-made evoker's attire been confirmed? It is. A truly historical find. Then I would ask a boon of you, my friend. You recall the predicament of which I spoke. Our chances of survival would be greatly improved if you would consider allowing M to wear the Allegan garments. Well, he is a summoner after all. I must confess to no small degree of scholarly curiosity as to the effect the attire will have on one with the appropriate training. These finds are, however, the result of much sweat and even few tears on the part of our excavation team. 'Tis a frustrating task at times, and I fear they will be loath to part with the garments without some measure of recompense for their efforts. Allow me, though, to offer a solution. Metallic monstrosities of elegant construction, known as mirror knights, have risen from the dig sites scattered across Mordona. Needless to say, they pose a dangerous threat to our excavators. I suggest you speak with my 3 field researchers and dispose of any such nasty hindrances to their work. I dare say they will gladly surrender the pieces of the attire they hold. Once I have confirmed our dig sites suitably empty of armored horrors, I will see you rewarded with the garment that I myself recovered from the ruins. The whole story of St. Koinok is one of the more interesting little tales. This is basically all from Encyclopedia Eorzea 1. Though they probably get into it as well in the game. Let me keep doing the quest, though. A mirror knight usually lurks over yonder. I can scarce think straight with that thing wandering about. Oh gods, it approaches. Whew. You have my thanks. Now I might finally be able to concentrate on my tasks. If I'm not mistaken, you were in search of the evoker's attire. I have one of these wondrous pieces right here. You're most welcome to it. So if I remember correctly, the story is that St. Koinok was a scholar for Thal? For Naldthal? Praise the gods. Rambros said an adventurer would be along. Please, you must destroy that horrid construction. St. Koinok was a priest of Naldthal who basically spent all of his coin researching Allagans, who at the time nobody believed was anything other than, like, you know, apocryphal, or, you know, a made-up thing, apocryphal, right? You know, made up for the purpose of, you know, telling a lesson of, like, hubris or something. Then he unearthed bits of Allagan technology in Mordona pre-Calamity, so before they even saw the Crystal Tower and all that stuff, and so that's what it's all about. Thank you for eliminating the source of my recent nightmares. I do not ordinarily stutter, so you see that abject terror has that effect on folk. Now I hear from Imitra that you have need of this Allagan garment. I should be glad to see it put to practical use rather than shut away in some dusty vault. Boom, boom, boom. Mirror Knights, yes, they become quite bothersome. I would be most appreciative that you were to eliminate the creaking pest that has been plaguing me of late. Fascinating. Never thought I would be fortunate enough to observe a conflict against an elegant construction at such close quarters. This has been a deeply enriching experience. If the price is to be my piece of evoker's attire, then so be it. Ah, the champion of my research returns. That's right. With the ruins now free of mirror knights, the excavations can proceed at a far more satisfying pace. Trembling in fear for one's life makes it astonishingly difficult to handle ancient artifacts that have a tendency to crumble into dust. Performed a valuable duty for us, M. As promised, you shall have the summoner's garment uncovered by my own hands as your reward. Ah yes, Sumitra mentioned she would await you at Apkalu Falls. It seems there was no doubt in her mind that you would succeed here. So we go New Gridania the normal way. So this was how the summoners of old were clad. Well, more or less. It's unfortunate that the ruins have yet to surrender the final piece to the suns. These garments, aside from the coloring, they are identical to the garb Tristan wore. You'll find no edge against you through his equipment. And next you face this murderous cad, victory will be decided purely by who is the more talented summoner. To that end, it is time you drew on your experience of defeating the Primal Garuda. Yes, her aura of fickle violence is palpable upon you. It is daunting to imagine an Eggy born of the Lady of Vortex. Such unpredictable ferocity should serve you well. I will search for a suitably airy location in which to perform the austerities of wind. You, my dear summoner, must needs prepare yourself, body and mind, for the trials ahead. I shall be waiting. I don't know why I made her nerdy. I mean, she is nerdy. Demetra wishes you to attempt the next summoning ritual. I sense Garuda's restless essence railing within the confines of your etheric channels. It is time we granted it release with the austerities of wind. Thankfully, I've already have in mind a location that well suits our elemental purposes. You're familiar with the floating city of Nim in outer Lenosha. As you might imagine, the aspect of wind is entirely dormant in the area of those suspended isles. Pray make your way there as soon as you feel prepared. I'm quite excited to see this new Edgy. What all do we have left on the hunting log? We're at 6 of 10 on Arcanist. I think we've fallen pretty far behind on the Grand Company ones. Mostly because we don't do enough fates to get Grand Company seals. Shall we begin? I assume that this is your third such experience. As this is your third such experience, you have by now grown familiar with the steps of the ritual. Thus, as before, I would have you concentrate on shifting your etheric balance. Imagine the energy within you howling through your veins. an incessant gale of screeching wrath. Garuda's essence will be only too eager to harness those raging currents and shape them into a worldly avatar. Once Garuda Edgy has appeared, it falls to you to tame its fury. It's attached to my hand there. Such powerful winds, there can be no doubt we face Garuda's spawn. Where are the Avatar's feathers? Sharana and Suprana. Just like in the fight. Oh my god. Learn how to summon Garuda Edgy. Masterfully done, M. Garuda Edgy's power is now yours to wield. Your aptitude for the art of summoning has exceeded my highest expectations. I honestly could not have found a more valuable partner for my research. Let us return to Apkalu Falls. I'm sure you must be exhausted after this ordeal. Boom, 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 boom. With the addition of Garuda Edgy, you now command 3 powerful avatars. As you have no doubt realized, however, each of these entities has a particular role in which it excels. For Garuda Edgy, the role is unleashing magic to strike down distant foes. I must admit to feeling equal parts joy and apprehension at how faithfully the summoned being displays the original primal's volatile disposition. Experiment with your AG allies, and the most effective use of their individual abilities will soon become clear. With such mastery of the art at your disposal, I shall almost pity Tristan when he chooses to confront you, when he next chooses to confront you. Before that time comes, however, I will endeavor to pierce the mystery of his motivations. May your discoveries bring you new confidence in. Yeah, all that shit about, use Garuda for long-range attacks. Nope. It's just the Legos. Alrighty. What next? Dragoon? Dragoon, we need to go to Kurthus. Doing a bit eepy. Might end up calling it after these double Dragoon quests. Means we'd have Monk, Paladin, and Warrior left. Double Dragoon. Sir Alberic has been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Impeccable timing, M. A message arrived from Estinian but moments ago. Much to my astonishment, he trades words with us and bids us meet him at Boulder Downs. As to his true intentions, I cannot say. It may well be a trap, but we must go nonetheless. I trust I can count upon your company. To Boulder Downs. Apologize for the train there. While we're here, we were just talking about needing seals. You could also use the experience. Didn't get it off in time. Probably gonna have to fight this guy. Unless I kind of like my harpoon here. Though I do really like the very simple spear. Greetings, Master. It's been too long. Estinian, in this folly at once. You must know that each second the eye passes outside Ishgard's walls brings us closer to a repeat of the tragedy of 20 summers past. Surrender yourself in the eye and return with me to Ishgard before it's too late. Ah, but it is already too late, Master. For you see, Nidhogg is already awakened. What? Hear me, Master. You have mistaken the cause of the dragon's return. The eye is not to blame. A premonition came to me by virtue of the dragon within, warning me that the great worm would soon rouse. Even as he slumbered, Nidhogg seethed with an irrepressible rancor for that wound of 20 years ago. That rancor will send him flying as a speeding arrow to Ishgard, whereupon death and devastation will ensue. But there is a possible solution. Were the eye taken to a remote land, far from the Holy See, then and only then could destruction be averted and the lives of innocent Ishgardians be spared. You mean to make a bait of yourself? Nay, there is more to this than you let on. You seek vengeance for Ferndale. To me, the two are one and the same. You know of my past better than any else. It was for no other reason than to avenge my family that I became a dragoon. Dragons long outlive men and do not soon forget the wrongs done them. What grudge they harbor burns as a fire in their hearts, over time swelling into an unquenchable inferno. Need only look back on history to see that Nidhogg grows stronger with each awakening. When he darkened our skies, the great worm came within a hair's breadth of laying waste to Ishgard. Not short of death will prevent him from completing his mission when next he wakes. Nidhogg took everything from me, and now I shall take everything from him, even if it means my life. The eye works in ways men can ill comprehend, but this much is plain. In choosing 2 Azure Dragoons in 1 generation, it means for us to join together in common cause. Adventurer, you've heard my resolution. Now I ask that you lend me your power, the power of the dragon. In the long and proud history of Ishgard, never before have 2 Azure Dragoons arisen in the same era to fight as one. This is our best, nay, our only chance to send the great worm to eternal slumber. Behold my armor. This is the Draken mail, forged in the blood of dragons. As blood calls to blood, so too does the armor call to the dragon within, redoubling the wearer's strength thereby. You would realize your potential as an Azure Dragoon, you must needs clad yourself in the same. Clad so, you will inherit the technique passed from Azure Dragoon to Azure Dragoon down through the generations. Then and only then will your training be complete. But first, you must win the Draken mail as I and Sir Alberic did before you, by proving yourself worthy in the ultimate trial of the Azure, a series of battles so harrowing as to send the unworthy to an early demise. Master, once the adventurer acquires the armor, pray see to it that he learns to harness the power of the dragon in full. Estinian, wait. Save your worries. I do not mean to make myself easy prey for dragons. I take my leave of you. A minor part, but part of the reason for doing this, we're trying to show off this kind of a journey, is parts like this. If you weren't Dragoon to start with, which you really, other than just like thinking the class, the job was cool, you wouldn't think to do, then if you were to come in later with Estinian, or having already met Estinian, already done Heavensward, already done all this stuff, it would just be so anachronistic to, you know, be talking with the guy and him being like, oh, my well-met adventurer, and you've been like, brother, I've been on, we've known each other for years. Estinian, forgive me, I was deep in thought. Now then, as to acquiring the armor, which Estinian spoke. At first, it was my intention to bequeath mine own armor to you, and I am an Azure Dragoon no longer, and its powers are wasted on me. It would be simple enough to hand it over to you and complete your training right there and now. But it is, as Estinian said, the Draken armor is no ordinary set of mail. Its strength derives from the dragon blood whence it came, the blood's power resonating within the soul of the wearer. Though I can no longer draw upon mine own armor's power, its bond to me was forged years ago. Were I to bestow it to you now, I fear it would only offer but a scintilla of the protection it afforded me in those bygone days. I, Estinian, has the right of it. You must claim your armor as he and I did before you. You must complete the trials of the Azure, that the powers of the dragon blood be yours and yours alone. The ogre's belly will be where your final test begins. I shall dispatch Sir Bruce Mont there. Seek him out upon your arrival. And moments like that happen all the time, to much smaller degrees, right? Estinian becomes a main character in the game. But somebody like Amitra, who you meet in Heavensward later to try and get Ishtola back from Lifestream, instead of being like, oh yeah, Amitra, or even the game recognizing that, oh yeah, Amitra, you've met this person before. It's like, nice to meet you. We've never met. You want to become a summoner, new person? You've grown strong since we last met, adventurer, but you're pale in comparison to your Azure forebears. If you would prove me wrong, let your lance do the talking. Once again, adventurer, you prove yourself worthy beyond my expectations. Take this, but know that your trial has only just begun. Your next challenge lies in the chamber beyond. Sir Hustine awaits you there. You, a foreigner, will don the Draken armor and prove to us that you will not do it to dishonor. Sir Albrecht said the Eye had chosen you, and it would appear he speaks true. The armor is yours, wear it with pride and honor. Your trial is nigh complete, but be forewarned, many before you have made it this far, only to fall at the final challenge. Do not let overconfidence be your downfall. So you made it this far. Very well. Prove yourself worthy of the Azure, or die in the effort. You have demonstrated your powers to me beyond a doubt. There is not an Ishgardian who would gainsay your right to don the armor of the dragons. I shall send word ahead to Sir Alberic that you passed your trials here. It is he who will present you with the fourth piece of armor and consummate your training. Go now, my fellow dragoon, and deliver this land from the great worm's wrath. I heard from Sir Bruce Maughan that you performed most impressively. Yes, I stand more convinced than ever that you will be the one to save our land. Yet be warned, M, one last trial awaits you. You'll face this trial in the presence of not of knights, but of ghosts. Make your way toward the Steel Vigil and seek out a gravestone north and west of the structure. Take with you this flute, and when you reach your destination, blow a single strong note. Visitors shall soon arrive. Entertain your guest, and should he leave behind a present, return it here to me. Another thing, obviously, if you have already killed not killed. Yes, if you have killed Horsefon. If Horsefon has already died. Then you making your way up here, you might think, oh, they tied in Horsefon to this somehow, but no. Do we only do 2 jobs today? Or cutting it off after this Dragoon stuff? I think we are. Presence before me indicates that you've seen the visitor. If you ought to show for your deeds. The shrill tone emitted by this bone-carved whistle is believed to summon minions of the Dravanian horde. Proof you, or someone else, slew Greywine. Ah, the skull of Greywine, old warrior of the Dravanian horde. It is said that in ages past he could bring down a castle with a single breath. His strength has dwindled since those days, but a dragon past his prime is a formidable foe nonetheless. In slaying him, you have proven yourself worthy of this. You now possess 4 pieces of the armor that Estinian, myself, and our forebears did wear. While you doubtless wonder about the 5th, I can tell you only that it is not mine to give. Fear not, however, your triumphs in the trials and against a dragon of the Horde give evidence that dragon blood now resonate within you. Yes, you stand before me as prepared for your ultimate challenge as any could be. Yet, before we proceed, I would hear it from your own lips. The Great Worm's power is the stuff of legends. Have you truly resolved to fight this battle, to risk your own life to deliver a foreign land from the clutches of its ancient foe? When you are certain that your mind is settled, return and speak to me. A spine shatter dive. That's great. Sir Alberic would ask you to reaffirm your commitment to do battle to the Great Worm. That you would join your strength to Estinians, that Ishgard might be free from the rage of the Great Worm forevermore. And I shall honor my promise. You shall have full use of your powers by the time we are done. Before we begin, there is something I must needs confess. You recall the tale of my battle with Nidhogg 20 years past, and how the power of the dragon left me on account of the injuries I sustained. What I said was an untruth. The power did not abandon me, it was I who abandoned it. Being derived from our mortal enemies, the power of the Azure Dragoon is a double-edged sword. Even as it lends us the strength we need to smite dragons, it heightens our communion with the creatures, rendering our minds more susceptible to their seduction than ordinary men. Even as I buried my lance in Nidhogg's flesh, our gazes locked, and mine eyes met then with a look that would fair impale a man. In that instant, I found myself assailed by a torrent of emotions not mine own. Sorrow, rancor, pity. They threatened to drown the man in me and leave behind a dragon. Fearing that I might turn traitor, I chose to purge myself of the power that the Eye had bestowed upon me. Thus regaining lucidity, I was able to rout the grievously wounded Nidhogg. Alas, countless of his brethren yet remained. As if to mock me, they fell upon Ferndale with a vengeance. Bereft of my power, it was all I could do to save but one child. Nary a soul knows of this, nay, not even Estinian, but I can keep him in the dark no longer. At our last meeting, Estinian said that protecting Ishgard and exacting revenge upon Nidhogg are as one to him. That frame of mind, I fear, may well lead to his demise. The desire to protect and the desire to avenge are opposing forces that can ill be reconciled. Worse, the latter serves only to cloud his sense of self. When Estinian and I meet, I intend to confess all, though it means the loss of his good opinion. The outcome of the coming battle and his very life may well depend upon his readiness to relinquish his powers. Never allow yourself to forget the origin of your strength. Ever does the dragon lurk behind your eyes, biding its time, ready to claim you for its own. Aught less than complete conviction, and you will find yourself in its vice-like clutches. So forewarned, let us return to our present endeavor. My promise to Estinian was that I were to impart upon you the technique that will mark you as a true Azure Dragoon. If you know the truth, however, this knowledge is not within my power to bestow. No, you must claim the technique as much as you have claimed the fourth piece of armor you bear, by proving yourself in battle with the dragons whose power you would unite with your own. I entrust you with this flute once more. Take it to the southwest of Providence Point and blow a single note. By locking wills with your adversary and prevailing, you will prove yourself worthy to champion the cause to which your lance is sworn. The dragon within you shall then awaken. I gotta go up and around. Yeet. Oh god. Okay, good. That's not a auto aggro. It's good to see you safely returned. I take from your bearing that the engagement went favorably. You left this place as a man, M, but you return as a dragon. There was no more for me to teach you. From here, your battle is yours and yours alone. Now, you might recall me saying the fifth and final piece of the dragon armor was not mine to give. However, that is not wholly true. I could guide you in the direction of that which you seek. That said, I yet have reservations. The sheer power of the dragon housed within is such that a great many of your azure forebears, myself among them, have proven hopelessly incapable of wielding it. I do not doubt what you see, but I do not doubt what I see. Within you, has awakened a strength that forever eluded the likes of me. If you are not worthy of wearing the armor, then I know none who are. Remember my warning to you, M, and heed it well. Nidhogg is a lord among his kind, aught less than complete conviction, and you will surely fall under his thrall. Before you can master your foe, you must needs master yourself. Hone your lance arm till it can bear no further honing, and then present yourself to me. When the time has come, I will tell you what you need to know. I look forward to our next meeting, my young dragoon. Spine Shadow Dive. That's a good one. Cool. So I think instead of moving on to the next dungeon, or not dungeon, the next job quest, we've got about 20 more minutes. We can either spend some time doing some side quests or doing some hunting logs. I think we can do some hunting logs. I don't remember where these daring harriers are. Where the vanguards are. Lake cobras are on the other side over here. Might the harriers be down in this area? Daring harriers. Daring harriers. More bowls. Barriers. I think this, yeah, man, I've lost my voice. This leads to where, here we are. Barriers. Unless I forgot that these existed. There must always be a Leech King. I'll be here all night. One more. This is what I remember. Some actual gathering. Where? Vanguards. So how the hell do I get out of here? There's the Vanguards. Four total, so 3 more. Need one more of the Vanguards. back over here so we can clear the other side. Well, hold on. I'm already this deep in, and I should have done this earlier. Hoplomachus. Equus. Here. This is one of my favorite songs in the game. It's an Uematsu joint rather than a, well, I think it is. So it came from this time period. See, looking for hoplos. Hoplos. One back here. War more of these things. Ugh. Hoplo. There's a hoplo. Another one. Or there's one. Just need one more. Get a respawn. By you, are you one? One. Well, I know one spawns over We're here. There we are. Ah, I forgot to do the other hit. Cool. No, you need mud puppies though. Secutors. We need 2 of these for Bard. Listed Dragoon, no more White Mage. Some for here. A Warrior. One more on here. Remember me, Secutor, not a Signiferi that we need. Must have done a little bit of this on an earlier run in this area. A Signiferi. All right, anybody else need anything in here? No. That's good. Somebody needed mud puppies. I think it was the paladin. Not the lentic mud puppies, just the regular mud puppies. Rando asking if I want to be in their random FC. Hurry up and start my own so I don't get those. Anymore. Need 3 more of these. Cool, cool, cool. Anybody else need anything over here? I know you need harriers. You also need mud puppies. Actually, I think we'll just go ahead and call it here rather than wait for these mud puppies to respawn. Ooh, all right, so what do we do today? We did the White Mage quests and the Dragoon quests, meaning we still have the monks, the paladins, and the warriors quests. Oh, and we also did the summoner. Okay, I was like, did I only do 2 job quests and it took 2 hours to do? No, I forgot. I did the summoners as well. Okay, that makes much more sense. So we should be able to finish off the final set of 3 45 job quests to get us back on track. Looking at our levels are still a little low compared to what we would like. Black Mage is able to take some of these MSQ stuff, but we still should start weaving in some dungeon runs as well. I just figured that these job quests would take the majority of the time to get through. I don't want to have too many streams in a row of just job questing. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Anybody who stopping on by, heading their way out, if you wouldn't mind tossing a like on your way out, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the VOD. And if you are watching the VOD and you would like to know the next time that or if you're watching live or watching the VOD and would like to know the next time that I go live. And now the best and easiest way for you to do so is to hit that subscribe button so that you can get those Go Live notifications. Yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you